Thank you, Chair. And Minister, if you haven't seen the Mildura Trail of Lights, I highly recommend.
I have not, but I will let you know when I
Put it
up.
on the list. Minister, last budget, the then Minister spoke about the government spending $2 billion on regional Victoria across, quote, a range of portfolios to support the infrastructure services and projects regional communities rely on, end quote.
Yep.
I noticed the government hasn't yet mentioned a figure, unless it's the 1.3 in your presentation then. Is that because the funding to regional Victoria has been cut again?
No, so thank you for your question. This budget builds on year-on-year investment in regional Victoria. We're now up to $47 billion to regional Victoria since we came to office in 2014. So that's an average of over $4.3 billion in new funding to regional Victoria every single year. I think you talked about the $2 billion investment from predecessor. That was the regional package that was announced in 2023, and that includes some of the projects that I have now inherited in relation to tiny towns and the lot, and tiny towns projects. The 25-26 budget invests $64 million into regional development through the Victorian Investment Fund that I went through, the regional place partnerships, $400,000 as part of the economic growth statement for the regional launching pad, the $10 million in infrastructure. So that's through the regional development portfolio, but in relation to regional Victorian investment, the budget includes a range of initiatives that are either, so you've got the whole of government ones that I've gone through, but the specific for rural and regional, take healthcare and hospitals, for example, $84 million for regional and rural ambulances, $6.6 million for rural nurses and midwives, $12 million for the Maryborough Hospital I talked about earlier.
So, sorry, Minister, the number for the whole of government number was $2 billion for the regions last year. Has it come back to $1.3 billion as illustrated in the presentation this year?
No. I was just taking you through all of the.
Yep. In the interest of time, given I haven't got that much, just
to go through the list.
Just need the whole number for the whole budget, not just regional development.
It's around $2 billion this year as well.
Around, so less than or more than?
Well, as I indicated, we are up to $47 billion since we were in office, and last year we were $45 billion.
So more or less than last year?
It's around the same.
So budget paper 3, page 149, shows the regional development output budget's been cut by over $50 million or 17%. What specific programs or services are being cut as a result of that 17% cut?
In the regional development portfolio, there's no cuts. The staff will continue to deliver the programs that I have outlined.
So there's no new funding though for new regional development initiatives?
Yep, and I took you through some of those in relation to the presentation that I gave, particularly the $50 million investment fund, which is a guaranteed minimum for regional Victoria. That would be the centrepiece announcement from the perspective of my portfolio, not just obviously regional investment is a whole of government approach, but from the regional development ministerial position, that $50 million minimum, as I said, we can access more broadly the investment fund, which is $150 million for appropriate projects. The budget also includes the $4 million for the Regional Development Australia committees, which I think you'd be familiar with, and there's the $10 million for the trunk infrastructure for regional economic growth, and a little bit more money in relation to the economic growth statement that's dedicated to regional Victoria.
Great, thank you. With reference to budget paper 3 on page 150, there are 18 grants programs, and we're specifically talking about regional grants now, that deliver jobs and investment on the RDV website. 17 of those 18 are closed, and some haven't been open since 2022. The only one currently open in our eyes is the Portland Diversification Fund. So why are there no programs available to create jobs in regional Victoria?
Well, this is why I have been at pains to point out the $50 million fund that is all about growing the regional Victorian economy. It's about ensuring that we can attract businesses, either new businesses or existing businesses, to grow, expand, adopt innovation and new technology. Often, the benefit of these funding arrangements is you'll have an employer who has plans to expand, but they're a little bit cash-strapped, but have a good business case that stacks up with some investment from the government, which we have the bucket of money from the Victorian Investment Fund. It gives them confidence, it often brings forward their plans, and if it's of benefit to regional Victoria, then we are all ears. If you've got any in your electorate, by all means, more than happy to go and talk to anyone about the opportunities to invest government money to make sure that they can employ more people, grow and help the region as well as the economy.
What's the phasing for that $50 million program? Is it over 4 years? 2 years. Okay. So how much is that evenly split? 25 million available, 25, 26, and then 26, 27?
I think what I would say is it is. I've got two.
Regional.
Oh, is it? Oh, I do apologise, Ms. Bennett. It's over 4 years.
It's over 4 years.
But as I indicated, there's $50 million that is dedicated just to regional, but that doesn't mean that projects are locked out of the broader bucket. So what I would say is if you've got a good idea, if you've got a plan that'll employ more regional Victorians, I'll usually find a home for it.
Great. But that opens as of the 25, 26 year? Okay, terrific. And that's over 4 years. Okay, so on page... did I do that one? Yeah. So the grants, as we've got the $50 million grant, are there any other grants allocated to the Regional Infrastructure Fund or Regional Jobs Fund that we could see coming to create more jobs in the regions?
That's the purpose of the investment fund.
That's the only investment over the next 4 years?
Well, no, just to repeat, there is a couple of other opportunities for funding that supports job creation. So that includes the broader package. There's also the forestry transition money that is geographically specific, and as part of the economic growth statement, there is the $10 million trunk infrastructure, which is about industrial land activation effectively.
Thank you, Minister.